Welcome to AI ConvoCast, where we bring you the latest in AI and tech innovation. Please don't forget to rate, review, and share if you like what you hear. Let's jump right in.
Today we will be covering Google DeepMind's AlphaProof Nexus, tackling famous unsolved math problems, Anthropic's Project Glasswing, turning Claude into a vulnerability hunting machine, Alibaba's big Qwen 3.7 Max launch in Bangkok, and a growing user backlash over Google's new Gemini usage limits. Let's start with what might be the most striking AI for science result we've seen this year. Google DeepMind posted a paper on Archive titled Advancing Mathematics Research with AI-Driven Formal Proof Search, and the headline claim is genuinely eye-catching. Their most capable agent autonomously resolved 9 of 353 open Erdős problems and proved 44 of 492 OEIS conjectures. For context, Erdős problems are a famous catalog of unsolved questions left behind by the legendary mathematician Paul Erdős, and many have stood open for decades. What sets this apart from the usual AI does math headline is that the system uses Lean, a formal proof assistant. In plain terms, the AI proposes proof steps, but a separate verifier has to mechanically check that every step actually holds. So these aren't plausible-sounding arguments, they're machine-checked. DeepMind says the work is already being deployed in combinatorics, optimization, graph theory, algebraic geometry, and even quantum optics research. The team also notes that the hardest problems cost just a few $100s in compute per solved problem, which is remarkably cheap for what's essentially original research output. Pushmeet Kohli, VP of Research at Google DeepMind, summed it up bluntly, saying, AI agents are advancing research-level math. The caveat worth flagging: this is still a preprint, and translating a math problem into the formal language Lean understands still takes serious human effort. But if the results hold up under expert review, this is a meaningful jump from solving Olympiad puzzles to chipping away at real open questions. Moving to cybersecurity, where Anthropic just dropped some numbers that are hard to ignore. In a Project Glasswing update, Anthropic says it worked with roughly 50 partners using Claude Mythos Preview to identify more than 10,000 high or critical severity vulnerabilities across widely used software. Cloudflare alone found 2,000 bugs. Mozilla found and fixed 271 vulnerabilities in Firefox 150 while testing the system. Many individual partners reportedly turned up hundreds of high-severity issues each. The accuracy numbers are what make this credible rather than hype. Of 1,752 high or critical findings independently assessed, 90.6% were valid true positives, and 62.4% were confirmed at the high or critical level. Anthropic also says Claude Opus 4.7 has already been used to patch over 2,100 vulnerabilities in just 3 weeks, and Claude Security is now in public beta for enterprise customers. Anthropic's own framing is the line that lands hardest. The company wrote that progress on software security used to be limited by how quickly we could find new vulnerabilities. Now, they argue, the bottleneck has flipped, and the constraint is how fast humans can verify, disclose, and patch what the AI surfaces. That's a real inversion of the traditional security model, and it raises a genuinely tricky question. If defenders can run this at scale, so can attackers, and patch pipelines may not be ready for that pace. Over to Alibaba, which used its Cloud Summit in Bangkok on Monday to unveil Qwen 3.7 Max, along with a full-stack AI upgrade. The pitch is that Qwen 3.7 Max is purpose-built for what Alibaba calls the agentic era, with capabilities aimed at advanced agentic coding, complex reasoning, and long-horizon task execution. Think multi-step workflows, debugging, office automation, the kinds of tasks where the model has to plan and act over time rather than just answer a single question. The strategic move here is that Alibaba isn't just shipping a model, it's pairing Qwen with upgraded cloud infrastructure and new in-house T-head chips, including something called the Panju AL128 supernode server, designed for large-scale agent inference and model training. That's the same vertically integrated playbook Google, Microsoft, Amazon, and OpenAI's infrastructure partners are running, and it positions Qwen as a serious non-US challenger rather than just a regional alternative. The model is already rolled into the Qwen app, PC client, and web version. Early user reaction has been a mix of impressed and skeptical. One Reddit post captured the tension nicely with the title, "Qwen 3.7 Max is superb but hallucinates too much." So the capability ceiling looks high, but reliability is still the rough edge users are bumping into. Finally, Google is dealing with a brewing user revolt over how Gemini measures usage. Money Control reported this morning that a Gemini AI Pro subscriber said a single prompt managed to burn through their entire 5-hour usage quota. The complaint stems from Google's shift to a compute-based quota system, which factors in prompt complexity, how long the conversation is, and which features you're using, rather than just counting prompts. On paper, compute-based metering is more fair, because a quick question shouldn't cost the same as a massive multimodal task with file uploads and tool use. In practice, users are finding it completely opaque. You can't tell in advance how expensive a prompt will be, which means one heavy request can blow your allowance for the next several hours with no warning. That's the consumer pain point of powerful multimodal AI in a nutshell. As the models get more capable, the bill, whether in dollars or in quota, gets harder to predict, and trust in the product takes the hit.
Thank you for listening to AI Convo Cast. Please don't forget to rate, review, and share if you like what you hear. Thanks and hope to see you again next time.